This is the CHEO Telethon.
This hour of the CHEO Telethon is brought to you by McEwen.
Welcome back to hour 2 of the CHEO Telethon. And it's often thought that palliative care is only provided at the end of life.
The palliative care teams at CHEO and Roger Nielsen House are dedicated to celebrating what makes each life unique and precious. Joining us now, Director of Palliative Care at CHEO and the Executive Director of Roger Nielsen House, Megan Wright. Megan, oftentimes for people who don't experience this is a very difficult topic, but I know people in your line of work don't mind talking about it. In fact, you celebrate what you do for families. Can you talk a bit about it?
Yeah, that's right. We do love to talk about palliative care and the joy that our team can bring to kids and families each and every day. It is really important that we are able to celebrate those milestones with each and every child and make sure that they live their best life. And we try to do that at Roger Nielsen House and the CHEO Palliative Care team each and every day.
It is sometimes hard for families initially to go into Roger Nielsen House or to seek those services, but we talked to some families during the pandemic who were cut off in some ways because of COVID, because of limitations from those services at Roger Nielsen House, and they really realized how difficult it is sometimes to cope without what is really a unique place here in Ottawa. Talk about what the families tell you about how valuable it is for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of donors like people who donate to the CHEO Telethon, we are able to provide services that families really so desperately require. And one of those services is respite. During the pandemic, we really had to be careful on how many kids we were admitting to the house and make sure we were prioritizing our end-of-life care and our transition from hospital. And so that did mean we did have to cut back some of our respite initially. Thankfully, as of last month, we are back up to our full respite services because families do need that support. What they get in the community is never enough to provide to them to be able to support their kids at home. And so because of the donors, we are able to provide that service for families, and we really just thank each and every donor who contributes to that.
And it's not just one child, right? Can you talk a bit about the support for siblings and family?
Absolutely. You're going to hear a little bit more today about our sibling bereavement program, but we do run a very active sibling support program as well called Spectacular Incredible Brave Siblings. That's a Saturday morning drop-in program where siblings can come and they connect with other siblings just like them who have a child suffering from a palliative illness. We also offer that, a regular support group for parents. We offer grandparent support. So we really try to wrap our arms around that entire family, and all of those services would not be available if it weren't for the donors. It's so important to care for the whole family so that they can be at their best to look after their children. And that is just such a great thing about Roger Nielsen House that we're able to do that in a beautiful space, the house that Love built. We love our house. It is such a warm and fun place when you come to see it. The kids are gardening this afternoon in the beautiful sunshine. They were baking earlier this week. And those are things that we really cherish about Roger Nielsen House.
And I know one of the really wonderful things we'll hear about that sibling program is a new video program for those that can't always access the center itself. So that's going to be fascinating to hear about a little bit later. Megan Wright is the Director of Palliative Care at CHEO and Executive Director of Roger Nielsen House. Megan, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, and we're going to get a better day, have a better day now, because Leanne Cusack is back with yet another contribution. Leanne.
Wendy and Ellen Hubley have been so incredibly courageous in turning the tragic loss of son Jamie into mental health awareness and fundraising. Shona Fleming is part of a volunteer committee and part of a Wonderland Tea Party for Youth Mental Health, and joins us now to speak of the Hubleys' generosity and grace. Lovely to see you, Shona.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Thank you for having us here. We're very happy to report that we've been working on this Wonderland Tea Party now for 7 years. We're into our 7th year, and we're excited to present a check today for the 6th year fundraising. And of course, in this community, we have a bunch of really super volunteers who come out behind this event in memory of Jamie Hubley. And I'm excited to tell you that this year we're going to be hosting it outside at the Pavilion at the Brook Street Hotel. So I think it'll be nice and fresh this year.
That sounds absolutely beautiful. And so is the information I have received about the check you are about to present. Shona, a check for?
We're very excited to present a check for $38,284 that was raised in 2021's event to CHEO Foundation.
That is a beautiful tea party. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure.
That's wonderful from the Hubleys and Jamie, his legacy. Wonderful to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great numbers. And we're going to continue to check those numbers as we jump back to the phone bank now with Matt.
Yes, we certainly are. Graham and Patricia wanted to give a big shout out. We've gotten a couple tweets already. We'll get to those. So tweet at us at MattScoobyCTV or at Stefan_Keith to let us know who you're donating for. A big thank you to Falcon Ridge Golf Course donating $2,500 to the kids at CHEO. So thanks to Falcon Ridge for that wonderful donation today. They keep rolling in. Everyone behind me here in the virtual phone bank is staying pretty busy for right now, but that doesn't mean that you can't pick up the phone and call 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-2436. Graham and Patricia.
All right, Matt, thanks. We're off to a running start. Fabulous. Yeah.
Keeping Leanne busy too. We're going to go back to Leanne Cusack right now.
Back in 1983, Marriott Hotels were the first partner to sign on as an official sponsor and supporter of the Children's Miracle Network Telethon. Let's go to Andrew Falkenberg, who's here from the Westin and representing Delta Ottawa City Centre to share more about this enduring relationship with CHEO. Great to see you, Andrew.
Yeah, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
And you're also here as a dad today, I guess.
I am. Yeah, you know what? Like so many of our employees, I have a son who's 7 and a daughter who's 5. And you know what? It's such a community partner where as parents, we all have used CHEO at some point or the other. So it's certainly a great cause to support and one that we're really proud of.
Well, thank you so much for being among the first to support children's hospitals. And you continue to do it without disappointment each and every year. You've brought along a check for how much?
Today we're saying check for $37,588.
Amazing. And we know the tough times the tourism industry has faced over the past number of years, couple of years. So extensions of profound gratitude to all of you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. We're happy to be back and look forward to going forward as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leanne. As we've just heard, Roger Nielsen House meets the unique palliative care needs of newborns, children, youth, and their families.
But end-of-life support is something you have to learn. It's not something everyone has experience with.
For staff at RNH, working together and hands-on training is fundamental to providing the best specialized patient care. Here's Stefan Keys with more.
Thanks, guys. Joining us right now, Celinda Rubis, who works at Roger Nielsen House. Thank you so much for being with us, and welcome to the telethon.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Not a problem at all. Tell us a little bit more about what you do at Roger Nielsen House and why it's such a special place to you.
Yeah, so currently I'm the educator here at Roger Nielsen House. And before that, I was actually one of the nurses on the unit here. Roger Nielsen House is an incredible place. It's so special. And I know that every day I come into work, I'm so grateful to be here. We provide care to children and their families with progressive life-limiting conditions throughout the entire trajectory of their illness. So we start by providing care from the time of diagnosis all the way through that illness journey into the time of death and further into bereavement. So we offer a bunch of services, and I work with an incredible group of passionate individuals who are just striving to provide the best possible care to our children and their families.
You play such a special role. Could you expand a little bit about making the switch from nurse to educator?
Yeah, of course. So on the floor, I was responsible for providing one-on-one care to children and their families. And that's quite the dynamic role. You're doing lots of different things. You're providing medical support, but you're also doing a lot of emotional and psychological support as well for children and families. You're working as a team player with many special members of our team. So for instance, we have recreational therapists, social workers, physicians, and we all work together just to ensure that the best possible care is being provided to that patient and their family. So transitioning to the educator role, I'm now on the flip side of things, I guess you could say. So as the educator, I'm responsible for ensuring that all learning needs and goals are met amongst our interdisciplinary team. So all those individuals I had named off before, so social workers, nurses, rec therapists, every single person has different learning needs and goals. And those are dependent on their health discipline, their experiences, their backgrounds, and then their just personal desires that they have for learning. So I take all of those into account, and I create educational resources and materials to ensure that learning needs are met. We are constantly reassessing and reevaluating learning needs and goals because we want to ensure that our staff have all the resources possible to provide that best possible care.
Okay, you did mention end of life and bereavement, and hearing how passionate you are, I guess I'm curious to know how you are able to navigate some of the bond that you build with your patients and your families at a special place like Roger Nielsen House.
Yeah, so it's difficult. There's no other way to kind of twist that. It's a reality that dealing with death and dying is so hard. No matter how many times I'm exposed to it, every single time is difficult. I feel for the patients, I feel for the families. But I think one of the best coping mechanisms that I have is just relying on my peers here for support. So all of our team here goes through similar things, and dealing with death and dying in the pediatric population is extremely difficult. So we can support one another. We have a lot of wellness programs that go on here at Roger Nielsen House to ensure that staff wellness is always at its peak, because we know that as a team, if we aren't feeling our best and in the best state of mind, then we can't provide that care that we are supposed to provide, and that we love providing. So I rely a lot on my colleagues for support, and we just work together as a team to get through it all.
Absolutely. Well, I'm happy to hear that, and I want to thank you so much for the work you and your colleagues are doing. Celinda Rubis, educator at Roger Nielsen House, thank you so much again.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Take care.
Incredible work. But what's...
It is. You walk into Roger Nielsen House and you meet some of these incredible staff people, and you think, I could not do that job, but thank goodness they can, and they do it so well. It's just a special kind of person that steps up and into that role. It's amazing.
And what I was going to say, I mean, what's the option? I mean, we need people to do this vital work. Like, you have to, and you can feel it whenever they talk about it, how much ownership they have of their work, how important it is, and how they understand their role for these families.
And how much they love those families.
Yeah.
Really incredible. Well, we are going to go back to Leanne Cusack now as those dollars keep coming in. Leanne.
On this June day, we are going to warm your hearts by looking back at a cool event that takes place in the snow. Roland Tenholder is the founder of Snow Angels for CHEO and joins us now. So lovely to see you again, Roland.
Thanks, Leanne. Likewise.
What a great background you have, and I guess that sort of tells the story, but I'm going to have you put what happens with your Snow Angels event into words.
Well, Snow Angels, it happens every year for the past 5 years, and we've raised over $35,000 to date. This year is just over $19,500, I guess. And we make snow angels in the snow for the oncology department, and just more angels for the kids, looking out for the kids at CHEO.
We want to thank you very much for being an angel on this telethon, and if you would, just repeat the amount of this generous donation for this year.
$19,457, thereabouts.
Those angels have wings. Thank you so much, Roland.
Thank you very much for having me on.
And all of the angels.
And all the angels, thank you.
I would say that's the kind of weather we want for CHEO Telethon, so everyone's inside watching TV, except you would be outside making snow angels of it.
It's
Do you
not
love
like
that
out
weather?
there today. That's great weather, yeah.
Beautiful day today. Well, we've heard so much, of course, about CHEO as a place where they really adapt to the needs of their patients.
And here's a look at how CHEO is offering comfort to patients and bringing a sense of empathy to every conversation.
Hi, my name is Jill Sullivan. I'm the manager of patient experience at CHEO and oversee interpreter services. A growing number of children, youth, and families that we work with do not speak English or French as their preferred language, so it's so important to us that we have the best interpreter services available to our staff and to our families. The emergency department, along with most of our inpatient areas, are now equipped with iPads that have the app on them, and the process to access an interpreter is quick and easy. A simple touch of a button on the main screen will bring you to a language list. You can choose or even say your language, and the app immediately sends out a request for an interpreter. Usually one can be found within about 20 seconds. Good, clear, and accurate communication is essential to delivering exceptional care to any child, youth, or family who needs it.
More generous donations coming, especially this one. Leanne Cusack, back to her.
Snow earlier to
Snow
blizzards
early
now,
to
maybe.
vanilla ice cream. Leanne.
Thanks. Our next presenters have the most delicious relationship with CHEO. Okay, our next presenters have the most delicious relationship with all of us. In fact, I can taste a peanut butter parfait and an Oreo blizzard right now. Noman Hussein and Nolan Quinn join us from Dairy Queen. Nolan, of course, the Cornwall Dairy Queen. Wonderful to see you, gentlemen. You've been a long-time partner of CHEO's, haven't you, Nolan?
Yes, yeah, so we've been since the beginning. I believe it's over 25 years that we've been part of CMN. So it's extremely important to our area. You know, even though we're an hour south of Ottawa, a lot of children from our area do travel up to CHEO and they rely on the hospital.
Well, we're very grateful to you and to all of the DQs out there. Noman, would you kindly give us a sense of what the stores have done?
So the stores have done a phenomenal job. We are coming in at a total of 91,000, out of which I want to really highlight 54,000 from Nolan Quinn's Dairy Queen Cornwall location. So every fund, every dollar helps. So what a phenomenal job.
That is incredible, and it makes all of us feel so good about those Dairy Queen treats, as if we didn't already. Gentlemen, thank you so much on behalf of CHEO.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Leanne. Thank you.
Great to see that, and so much of the work that happens at CHEO is minimizing fear and unfamiliar environments in a hospital setting.
Let's go now to our kid reporter to learn more about art therapy and how it's used to help normalize the experience for children.
Hi, I'm Jem, CHEO Kid reporter, and I'm here with Cynthia talking about art therapy. Cynthia, what is art therapy and how does it help kids at CHEO?
I love that question. Art therapy helps kids at CHEO because it's something to do together. And we can talk about this, and we can also talk about what's going on these days.
That's amazing. What inspired you coming here to CHEO?
When I was a little kid, I was a patient at CHEO for quite a few times, actually. And I was always really grateful for the help that I got here. And when I got older and I went to school, I thought, where can I help and make a difference? And I thought that CHEO would be a good place to do that.
Have you always loved art?
I did always love art. I actually collected rocks and did all sorts of crafty projects when I was little. And the reason I really wanted to do this here was because I really liked the science of it. And I really liked the idea of using this as a way to help kids get better. To me, having crayons and markers is just as important as having Band-Aids and thermometers. And do you think? Yeah, me too, totally. Because they're an essential part of healing and connecting.
Cynthia, where will all these rocks go to?
Yeah, we call it a kindness rocks garden. And what's fun for me is to come out and see that people have added to it and contributed new rocks to our garden.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for being here with me.
Thank you.
This is me, Jem, signing off for today. Bye.
Love seeing our kid reporters.
Great kid reporters.
Yeah.
We're pretty good at art, too. Remember when they got us to draw the weather pictures of the day?
Yeah.
Just that one time for some reason.
Please don't remind me of that. Yeah. I wasn't that great. But it was fun. It was fun.
Maybe again. We're going to go back to Leanne Cusack now, who is, again, bringing in some big dollars. Nice checks, Leanne.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many creative ways to fundraise for CHEO. The Turcotte family has taken their fundraising to an epic extreme. Joining us now is the patriarch, Sean Turcotte, a guy who is into Christmas decorating. When it comes to CHEO, it's a very big give. Lovely to see you, Sean. Tell us, for those who don't know, what you've done.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Leanne. Thanks for having us. Yeah, we love decorating for Christmas, and we were fortunate enough a couple years ago to turn our Christmas decorated house into a fundraiser. It was so popular, we decided to do it again this year. We chose the movie Home Alone because we wanted to focus all of our fundraising efforts to youth mental health services at CHEO. And it went extremely well. The response and the generosity from the community was incredible, and we're extremely happy with how much money we managed to raise for the CHEO Foundation.
And before we reveal that check, we've been hearing throughout the telethon the importance and the need for fundraising when it comes to youth mental health. So thank you so very much. One family, one fundraiser. Sean Turcotte, please reveal the amount raised for Home Alone for CHEO.
Yeah, we're so happy. We raised $66,257 in the month of December for youth mental health services at CHEO.
And you're planning to do that again this year. Movie tribute is?
Yeah, we're committed to doing it again and again for CHEO, and this year we've chosen the movie Elf.
Oh, Matt Scooby's going to be just in the stratosphere with excitement. We cannot thank you enough to the Turcottes.
Thank you very much, Leanne.
That's amazing. The Home Alone has $67,000.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And
Matt will have
Elf.
something to say about that in just a minute, I'm sure.
Well, we're trying something new this year. We're on the road.
We are going to go to Osgood now, where our very own Jackie Perez is standing by with a special check presentation. Jackie.
Grant, Patricia, we're here in Osgood, Ontario for a special check presentation. But before we get to that, I want to talk to Harley Brennan here. Harley, CHEO's played such a huge role in your life. Tell us your story.
Well, I was at 10 days old. I was diagnosed with CHD, and I had to have a life-saving surgery at CHEO. And from there, I had a pacemaker implanted at 2 years old and a few other surgeries along the way. And I thought I was out of the water, but unfortunately, back in June, I had a Ross procedure, and I had some complications with my vocal cords, and therefore set me back my whole summer last summer. And then I thought I was out of the water again, but in August 26th, I had VTEC, so my heart reached like 250, and I unfortunately passed out. From there, I had to carry a defibrillator around school for like 2 months, which was pretty hard. And I then had a defibrillator implanted, and I've had a few surgeries at the Heart Institute since then.
All right, now CHEO for the last 17 years has also played this huge role. And do you have a special message for the team at CHEO?
I do. I want to thank Dr. Maharaj and Dr. Gao. You guys have saved my life many more times than one.
Thanks so much, Harley. And we actually have brought over Dad Tim here. Now, Tim, you have this behind me is here for a reason. It's one of your favorite pastimes, this hobby here. Tell us more about Axel Busters.
So it's an online group that a group of us old guys are members of, and they do online auctions from time to time to further our habits. They had a auction last November for a donation for a charitable organization. We all entered. Lo and behold, my good friend Gord here won. I suggested to him that if he has no one to give it to, cardiology at CHEO would be fantastic. And he hesitated not once.
All right, thank you, Gord. We're actually going to get you closer here because you do have the big check presentation here. You're going to reveal how much you're donating to CHEO today.
So today we're happy to donate $5,000 to CHEO. We're pretty proud of that. It's awesome.
All right, thank you guys so much, and thank you for this donation, and thank you, Harley, for sharing your story. We are going to take it back to studio. Again, what a great, generous donation from this family right here. Back to you guys.
All right, love that. Thank you, Jackie. We'll talk to you again in just a little bit. Well, it is unimaginable pain. 1 in 4 experience the loss of a child.
Katie Griffin has the story of one family's grief and the support of Roger Nielsen House and how they're honoring their daughter's memory.
Her name is Helen.
She was our firstborn, and she was stillborn on September 5th of 2019, just 2 days shy of 28 weeks.
An unimaginable loss for Katie Monteith and husband Ryan Dunn.
We were able to spend 12 meaningful hours with our daughter as our little family of 3, and she was truly perfect.
Learning how to navigate the unknown made a bit easier after they were connected with Roger Nielsen House.
Those weekly sessions with the peer support group became sort of a lifeline.
Group and individual counseling provided to those who have lost a child.
These parents are going to grieve their baby for the rest of their lives. And have a relationship with their baby for the rest of their lives. So we need to honor that grief and recognize it for the to the extent that it is present in their life.
She really helped us develop a toolbox of tools and supports to help us build a lifelong relationship with our daughter, Helen, because it obviously looks very different than the one we had hoped to have with her.
As a first birthday gift to their daughter, they launched Helens Place in 2020, a way of honoring her short life by helping other families going through what they have.
And we're very proud that the inaugural grant that Helens Place was able to make was to the Roger Nielsen House, because they were just so critical and so important.
We make sure no family waits for service. We are continuously running groups. We are afforded opportunities for training so that we can better hone in our skills. That's what these donation dollars allow us to do.
While there is pain, there is also joy. Helen's sister Evelyn was born in June.
Thanks to the Roger Nielsen House and the care we were provided there, we feel so confident and comfortable in our ability to share Helen with Evelyn. And there are meaningful artifacts and meaningful rituals that exist all over our home and throughout our day that bring Helen to life.
Like this bear, Spencer, given to them after Helen was born so they wouldn't have to leave the hospital with empty arms.
And we make sure that we talk about Helen on a regular basis, both with Evelyn and our family members, so that her memory and her presence is always nearby.
Always difficult stories, but amazing work, right?
And incredible parents that share those stories, and we want to continue to raise money to make sure that Roger Nielsen House can be there for all of those families.
Yeah, let's throw to another miracle match.
This miracle match is sponsored by Feely Group.
All right, we're going to go back to Steph N. Keys. Take it away, Steph.
Thank you, Graham and Patricia. The Feely Group, this team of passionate realtors take pride in offering award-winning service to their clients. They're also passionate about enhancing the quality of life for children and their families. Kevin Feely joins us now. We're so happy to have you with us, Kevin. Tell us a little bit more about your choice in donating to CHEO.
Yeah, well, in real estate, we get the pleasure of helping families elevate their lifestyle, right? But better to give back than to CHEO where every child ends up need the help the most.
That's awesome. And a lot of families we talk to always talk about CHEO feeling like a home. So I think it's very appropriate that a group of realtors in the business of home and buying houses is making a donation like that. $5,000. How long did it take you to raise that?
Well, since we opened the company 2 years ago, we've actually been able to donate $50,000 to CHEO, and we hope to continue to raise that and support as much as we can.
Kevin, we're happy to have you. I'm going to let you go. We're going to head over to Matt. We're in the fun zone. $5,000 miracle match. The best.
Let's do it.
The absolute best.
Start the clock, shall we, as we get into that miracle match here once again. Oh, Michaela, Mom, we're getting, don't worry, we'll get to you in just a sec. That's okay. But for now, let's start the clock, shall we? Where, again, $5,000 miracle match. Thank you to the Feely Group for doing that. It's your chance now to get on, as we just talked about, too, Helen's family, and we talked to Tara as well. There are so many important services. We're at Roger Nielsen House. They can't wait, and they need your help in order to offer those services at a moment's need for some of these families. We want to get these people talking on our virtual phone bank, don't we? We're into hour number 2. What do you got?
I was just saying, it looks like we're getting some calls. 613-730-CHEO. Make sure that you dial, pick up the phone so you can make a donation. They're very busy in March. They're very busy in April. They're very busy in May, some of the busiest months they've ever had, Matt.
And you can make the difference right now by giving us a call. Stefan mentioned the number 2. It's very important. Now is the chance to double your donation. If you give $10, we're going to turn it into $20. If you give 20, we can make it 40. Yeah. All of that's coming here in the next few minutes. Michaela and Mom, let's get to you now. How long do we have left?
2 minutes left. What are you waiting for? Say it.
One.
R.
I am wonderful.
Michaela, we couldn't say it better ourselves. Wonderful job. Thank you to all of the kids who are helping us with our countdowns today, who are taking part in this entire afternoon. We can't do it without you, and it is all about the kids at CHEO.
Right.
Make your difference count right now by picking up the phone and dialing 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-2436. Whew! Okay, we're getting there. Breathe, stay with us. We're in hour number 2, but we're going to get there here in the next little bit.
We're here with you until 7 p.m. There's lots of time to give. Again, 613-730-CHEO is the number to call. We're here until the very end, so roll up your sleeves, dial that phone number. I've rolled up my pants.
Look at,
can we show the pants? Can we show the pants, Ryan? When we get that total, we're dancing at the end of the show.
We're going to dance. So we have pants rolled up, sleeves rolled up. Now is the time to donate. Don't wait right now. How much time do we have left?
There is only 1 minute left in this miracle match. Make a difference and call now to donate.
It's couldn't have said it any better. Make a difference. Call
Tommy,
now.
thanks for helping us out. Appreciate it. And Tommy, you know what? All you have to do is listen to Tommy. Call now.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Pick up the phone. Do it right now. You don't even have to leave your couch now these days.
Exactly.
You don't have to get up and go anywhere. You can just pull the phone. I don't have my phone in my pocket right now. If I had it in my pocket, I'd pull it out and we can talk right now. But it's easy to call the number on your screen. All those names on the bottom of your screen right now, they are already helping the kids, the staff at Roger Nielsen House, at CHEO, to help with research. We have all sorts of stuff still to come, but we're encouraging those because if you've been outside already, hey, it's nice outside.
Beautiful day.
You're watching us right now. Call because, again, for the next 30 seconds, up to $5,000 of your donations are going to be doubled.
Virtual phone bank.
I love the way it lights up. It lights up when we start calling. I know some people are having a quick drink before they get another call here.
Just
10
warming
seconds.
up the vocal cords.
Get in right now, and you still have a chance to have your donation doubled. We want to thank the Feely Group once again for supporting us this year with another miracle match. Graham and Patricia.
All right, nice cuff, Steph. Thanks so much for that.
I'm worried Matt doesn't have his phone in his pocket because he's getting ready to take the pants off and throw on shorts or something.
Probably something like that. We'll see. We'll see.
A lot of ankle right now.
A lot of ankle going on. Yep.
We're going to go back now for another nice check presentation to Leanne. Leanne.
This is a day to honor the team at CHEO and their life-saving efforts. It's also a day when so many beautiful hearts come together to thank CHEO for kindness and understanding extended during personal tragic loss. Julia Winslow and Anne-Marie Warren and Tahira Massa are all co-chairs who have experienced that personally. They're the co-chairs of Butterfly Run Ottawa. It's wonderful to see all of your beautiful women on the screen with us today. Tell us about Butterfly Run, Julia.
Thank you so much on behalf of our committee for having us today, Leanne. We're just a group of community members that are united by our grief. And the best way we can honor our families and all the different ways that it looks like is to raise money for CHEO and Roger Nielsen House through bringing our community together with the Ottawa Butterfly Run.
And when these women and these families come together, it must be quite a dynamic and profoundly emotional energy.
Absolutely. You know, the past 2 years have been hard, but our community has rallied, and some of these incredible events have been happening all over the city virtually.
Well, I can't even believe the amount that you have raised, and we would love to have, I guess, Anne-Marie, you're going to do the honors of telling everyone just how much Butterfly Run Ottawa has raised for CHEO.
Yes, so this year we're very excited to announce that we have raised $90,000 for the CHEO Foundation.
Whoa, round of applause. Thank you, Tahira. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you, Julia, very, very much on behalf of CHEO. And we laud your courage.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
From Dairy Queen's Miracle Treat Day to the Butterfly Run, there's always something happening in our community benefiting CHEO patients.
You can always start your own donor event or join one. We're going to go live now again to Jackie Perez, who's in Orleans to learn about one hair-raising event. Jackie?
Thanks so much, Patricia. We are here at Carte Blanche Spa. They're taking part in a special fundraiser. It's called Hair Donation Ottawa. To tell us more about this, we actually have salon owner here, Roy Juby. I'm just going to interrupt you for a minute. Now, tell us more about this fundraiser.
Hair Donation Ottawa is a yearly fundraiser, and you can register online.
Right. Now, normally when I think hair donation, I think, oh, I got to cut off 10 inches, maybe longer. But no, that's actually not the case.
No, the really cool thing about it is you can just get a trim, like cut an inch off, or donate your hair and shave your head, or all the guys out there, you can just get your beard cut.
Right now, you've to participate here, you actually have to register online. That's at CHEOFoundation.com. You can get the details there. Last year, you had over 600 participants taking part. How much did you raise? It was a record-breaking total.
Yes, last year, Hair Donation Ottawa raised $200,000.
That's amazing. Congratulations to that. But you have a bigger goal this year.
Yes, so if I like to raise the bar high, so I would go like $300,000 to $400,000 is my goal.
All right, now you heard it here first, folks. $300,000 to $400,000. You can help by participating, registering online, and there are incentives if you are to get your haircut here at Carte Blanche Spa.
Yes, we're going to give you a 10% off if you get your if you register and get your haircut at Carte Blanche.
All right, thank you so much. Again, all the donations, they are going to cancer research as well as cancer care at CHEO. All the hair collected here, as well as other participating salons, it will be going to provide local wigs for children who need it for to help with their hair as well. The donations, again, going through Therapy Ottawa. You can get more information at CHEO Foundation, and we'll take it back to you, Graham and Patricia.
All right, Jackie, that's a big, ambitious target. Great to see that in a busy place there.
It really is. Would love to get my son in there.
To shave his head?
Trying to remember what color his eyes are right now.
Yes, long hair.
The good news for people out there who might have been thinking about turning off their TVs, Matt is still fully dressed and he's back. Matt?
I am. We're not getting into that right now. That's not happening again. I was actually looking back at last year. You remember how much hair we had before we shaved it after the telethon last year? It's like so wonderful stuff there and great. I want to give a quick shout out here to Kelly, who tweeted at us. So at MattScoobyCTV, at Stefan_Keys, tweet at us and let us know who you're supporting. What are you donating for today? So Kelly says, I donated for my 2-year-old great-nephew Owen, who has 5 different doctors at CHEO, and I myself was a CHEO kid from age 4 to age 18. So Kelly gets it. Her great-nephew Owen is there. One of the examples of, and the number of people who are still calling. Look at how busy our virtual phone bank is right now. 613-730-CHEO. 613-730-2436 is the number to call. Keep donating. We've got lots more to come here from the phone bank, from the Fun Zone, and that other place over there. No, don't worry, they're having fun too. They're having fun too. I'm just kidding.
We always have fun. That's great, Matt. Thanks so much.
Shots fired, even at the CHEO Telethon.
Yeah, even at the CHEO Telethon, yeah.
We are going to go back now to Leanne Cusack, who's working hard. Leanne.
Thank you. The need for expanded mental health support is well known. 20% of Canadian youth are affected by mental illness, but only 1 in 5 receives the services they need. The Sobeys Foundation and the members of the Sobeys team are determined to improve those numbers. Joining us representing the Sobeys Foundation is Samir Omari, who is the manager of the Sobeys in Barrie. So great to see you, Samir.
Hi, Leanne. How are you?
Very, very well, and so grateful to you and the team for what you've done. Please explain it to us.
So, with Sobeys Foundation, Sobeys Inc., we fundraised a total amount of $281,804 to help toward mental health initiative. And this is combined from Sobeys, Foodland, Freshco, and Farm Boy stores. The positive impact of every donation will be felt by children, youth, and family close to home.
Well, thank you from your very extended Sobeys family to the family at CHEO and the families counting on that care from CHEO. Samir, we're so incredibly grateful. What a check. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely a little applause. Another great number there. Those checks keep coming in, and the second hour of the 39th annual CHEO Telethon is just flying by.
Yeah, and like Walmart and other large grocers, large businesses, those employees have great ownership. That's a great number from Sobeys. And Leanne is the busiest woman in show business. We're going to head back to Leanne with more information on another donation.
It's time to be swept off of our feet, and who better to do that than Christine Tourigny and Stanley Fong of Curling for Kids. Tell us what your curling stars on ice have done for the kids at CHEO off ice, Christine.
So back in 2021, Curling for Kids partnered up with Receivables Insurance Association of Canada, and we held a walkathon in May, and we managed to raise $3,000 for the cardiology department.
That is amazing, and a long relationship fundraising with Curling for Kids, Stan.
Yeah, we've been raising funds since 1999 in the Montreal area, and we're expanding across Canada, and we're hoping to get into Ottawa and have a curling event next year and raise even more money for CHEO.
Well, we're really grateful, and it sounds like you started this event back in 1999 when you were a kid, Stan.
That's right. Thank you.
Thanks so much for being with us, and 3,000 thank yous from CHEO.
Thanks.
Another fantastic program. Great to see all the large ones and small ones come together.
Yeah, love it all.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to go back to Matt Scooby once again. And Matt, I just want to take a minute to say how much I admire you and appreciate all the work you're doing for the CHEO Telethon today.
Oh, I appreciate you too. Thank you. We love each other. We give each other a hard time, but look at that wall too, can we? So, and I'll have more love for Graham and Patricia here shortly. But that wall, can we go back to it, Ryan? Just have a quick look here too. This new wall we have in the studio just for the CHEO Telethon. Big shout out to one of our graphic designers, Joey Laverne, for designing this wall, for putting all these elements together. It's wonderful. It's great stuff. We have to thank our executive producer, Joanne Wu, to everyone at CHEO who is involved in this telethon. It's a huge operation. It's a huge day. It's a huge fundraiser. We have to thank you, importantly, too, as well, for watching us and for donating. 613-730-CHEO, 613-730-2436 is the number to call. Things are still pretty busy back here. We want to keep that going right through up until 7 o'clock. So if you've donated already, call 2 friends and get them to tune in or to donate too. That's your task, one of them, for this afternoon. More to come. Graham and Patricia.
All right, thanks, Matt. Well, there is no greater pain a parent can experience than the loss of a child, but often there's another person in the house hurting in the most difficult of ways. Without the one person they were meant to know their entire lives, a friend, a companion, a sibling.
Roger Nielsen House has a program dedicated to helping siblings coping with grief, one that shifted during the pandemic, producing an incredible new video project that may help kids and teens right across the country.
It's a moment Cyprian will always remember. Way up high. A dance competition in Montreal with his brother, their first together. His younger sibling was spectacular.
He actually took gold that day.
It was special then. When Cyprian's 7-year-old brother Gabriel died not long after, it became one of his most treasured memories.
I still have the medal today, and every day I see it, I remind myself of that day. And it's a beautiful experience.
But focusing on those positive memories, sharing stories, navigating grief, not always things that come easily or naturally after living through the toughest kind of event a family can experience.
Gabriel was 5 years old, and it was something, of course, we didn't expect or think about, because he was a very dynamic child, smart, joyful, and so I noticed some changes in his walk and behavior also. He was a little bit sad.
Gabriel's mom visited numerous doctors, was on a wait list to see a neurosurgeon when an allergist realized how urgent Gabriel's situation might be.
The day after, she called me and she said, "You have to go."
An MRI confirmed the fears, a brain tumor.
There is no treatment for this brain tumor. It's the worst brain tumor for a child.
Gabriel was given 9 months. He lived 16. And when the end came, Gabriel's mom turned to Roger Nielsen House, despite originally turning down their offer of help.
The moment they said palliative, I said, no, I'm not going to go to that place. It was like accepting the defeat, and I didn't want that. But at the end, it was so scary. And I said, after discussing with the doctors at the last week, I preferred him to be surrounded by specialists.
This suite temporarily became home.
It's a paradox, but it was such a beautiful experience to be here. And these people were so kind and polite and respectful of what we were going through. And they also took care of Cyprian.
But on that day that Gabriel died, Cyprian was not there.
On that very day when Gabriel passed away, because I knew it was going to happen, I asked a friend to take him to a play date or a play center, because I didn't want him to see. He was angry with this because he said, "Why did you make me go? I wanted to stay with my brother." And I said, "I did it for you."
A decision made out of love and the best of intention that came up years later, the feelings it triggered, that missed chance to say goodbye, something a support group at Roger Nielsen House helped the young teen sort through.
For a long time, but as my mom said, she protected me and she wanted the best for me. So I matured through that, and I think of it differently today.
It's the kind of thing young kids often aren't ready to process. It's why the sibling program remains an option for siblings years later. For Cyprian, it was more time alone during the pandemic that had him struggling.
Okay, now I'm home. I can't do that extracurricular activity. I can't just go talk to my friends and have that time with them. It makes grief show up.
He realized he needed to talk.
First impression, he was a hard kid to crack. Lots of walls up at first and like very, very serious. But once I got in there, I couldn't believe at how profound his thoughts were about his brother, about his life, about how grief has impacted his life, and the way he is feeling willing to show the world that.
Roger Nielsen House recreational therapist Kat Brooks saw something special in Cyprian, knew he needed to be part of a new video project she was putting together, one that would offer support to other siblings navigating loss.
I wanted kids together talking about the impact of death on their life, on the way they interact with their friends, the way they interact with their parents.
My brother's name is Vincent. My siblings' names are Connor and Hannah.
I lost my twin brother Tom when we were 17.
My brother Gabriel passed away when he was 7 of cancer.
We hiked into the woods because we wanted a campfire-style adventure together where we could sit around, feel natural, roast marshmallows, and talk about probably the hardest conversation of our life.
And when I came back, my brother was already in heaven. It's really amazing the power of talk, of language, and how you can exchange with other people and realize that you're not the only one who's going through this.
In addition to that video project, which has been so successful it will not be shared just at Roger Nielsen House, but across the country, Cyprian is also working on a grief podcast of his own. He's an excellent student, plays competitive basketball.
Oh, I'm very proud, very proud of everything that he has accomplished.
She's very strong. I love my mom.
And still dances. Cyprian has evolved and grown on the floor.
I live every day thinking about my brother, and just trying to live my best life in the way he would have wanted me to be.
He's always with us, actually.
The connection hasn't died.
His brother, he feels, is right there with him.
Amazing people.
They are amazing people. Loved having a chance to meet Gabriel's big brother, Cyprian, doing some incredible work for other kids and teens, and we want to talk a little bit more about that work right now. Joining us right now is Kat Brooks, who you saw in that story and works at Roger Nielsen House. And I know that this was very important to you during the pandemic to get this project underway. We saw a little bit of that campfire scene, and you talked about how incredible it was when you got this group of siblings together at that campfire and thought, will they open up? Will they talk? And you actually came away with more material than you could use.
Yeah, we were completely blown away by the experience. We hiked into the woods and we're sitting around a campfire and the kids just shared. They totally forgot there were cameras there and they literally shared their life, the hardest part of their life, and had this passion of advocacy for other kids out there who could use support and hear their story and feel a little bit less alone in their grief.
And I know you've said that you study grief, this is what you do for a living, you work with these families, but no one truly knows what that experience is like another sibling who has lost that person that they expected to grow old with.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I work to be that mentor for the kids, to be there as a supportive person to listen. But as soon as you get kids together who can sit across from someone and just hear that someone else has lived the same experience as them, they truly feel connection. It feels like they're a little bit less alone in this world, and it's invaluable.
And there's still obviously opportunity for the in-person peer group at Roger Nielsen House. Nothing can match that in-person experience, we all know. But during the pandemic, when kids were isolated at home, is when we really sort of uncovered this need for having those videos that could be accessed by kids who maybe can't come into the center, or even in other cities where they are not lucky enough to have a Roger Nielsen House.
For sure, and this project was totally inspired by that isolation and seeing that there is a little bit of a missing part when you're doing virtual support. It's great, but there is that little connection that's missing. And so we wanted to create something that got that personal bit of the story out, and felt natural that any kid could use it, that we could use it, that they could, again, feel less alone and feel that support that they might not be getting in person.
And one of the most interesting things I think that came up with with Cyprian and his story and having lost his brother Gabriel years ago and kind of thinking he was doing okay, but then you get to a certain age where you start to think about things differently, you're processing differently, and then you realize I do need to talk about this a little bit more, and Roger Nielsen House says, come on in. It doesn't matter how many years ago your loss was, this program is open to you.
Yeah, and I think that is truly the value of this tool that we noticed is all of these kids, it had been years since their sibling died, and now they had developed and matured, like maybe they were 10 years old, some of them were in their 20s, but it comes up again as we develop, as we grow, as we process information in different ways, and it never goes away. We grow with our grief with us all the time. And I think it was so important to be able to see that and show the world that this is always with these children, always with anyone who experiences a death in the family. And I really, really value that someone like Cyprian was able to share that and show that, yeah, I need support and I can go out and ask whenever I need it, like at a place like Roger Nielsen House.
It is excellent to know that Roger Nielsen House is there supporting families in our community. Kat Brooks is a registered recreation therapist there, and we thank you for your time and perspective.
Thank you.
Such a simple idea. Get together, get in the woods, and talk about it, and powerful stories that now are going to go around the country.
And again, a simple idea that was not, you were not able to put that into action during the pandemic, just getting together and having people support, and suddenly you have people who are in isolated pockets and really struggling, and I love the way they've responded to that. Yeah.
Time now for another miracle match.
This miracle match is sponsored by National Bank.
We're going to go back now to Steph Keys. Steph.
Thanks, guys. I love Miracle Match Time, and the team at National Bank are committed to creating a positive impact in people's lives through their services. They know that's exactly what the amazing people at CHEO do every day and are so appreciative. To kick off this next Miracle Match, let's welcome Stefan. Great name, Steph. We've been hearing so many good stories about the wonderful work CHEO's doing and the difference they're making in so many families' lives, but what inspires you to support CHEO?
Well, we've had the privilege of supporting CHEO in many ways over the years, in different events like today's telethon. As you mentioned, our mission is to have that positive impact on people's lives, building those long-term relationships with clients, employees, and communities, and that people-first approach is directly in line with this investment we are making today with Miracle Match. So as a parent of one and another one soon on the way, my wife and I are comforted in knowing CHEO is there for us when we need them. So CHEO plays a huge role in the health of young people in our community, and I urge all of you to go online or call in support of this great cause.
All right, we're hearing you loud and clear, Stefan. Thank you so much for your support and for representing National Bank. Let's go over to Matt Scooby. Miracle Match Time, my brother.
Stefan Keys, let's do it. Let's start the clock, shall we, from National Bank as we talk about this $5,000 Miracle Match. Thank you to National Bank for supporting us. And I think that Stefan brings up a good point. You know someone, either you always bring up good points. He always brings up good points. But the other Stefan from National Bank,
most definitely.
If you don't have it personally in your family, you know someone who has been impacted by CHEO, a child who has been there. You know, my youngest, Leo, was there. He was a week old. He had to be taken to CHEO, was taken such good care of by the staff and by everyone there. And you know that. So now is your opportunity to give back and to help. We know that. We know these stories.
Yes, and we're going to double your money. Now is the time to call. 613-730-CHEO. If you're outside of the city of Ottawa, there's also a toll-free number on your screen. If you want to give $20, we're turning it to $40. If you want to give $1,000, we'll probably turn it into $2,000. We're doubling the money for you, folks.
If you give $1,000, we're going to give you a shout-out. We have a few more to get to here, but that's going to come up as we talk about these miracle matches over the course of the show today. Eric's staying cool for us today. How much time in this miracle match, Eric?
Get ready for this 2-minute miracle power play. Don't miss your shot to donate.
Hey, on the power play too. You're not gonna miss a shot. You don't miss shots.
No, never.
No, not in soccer, not in basketball, not on every sport this guy plays. One of the best athletes I've ever seen in my life. So, but it's you have your chance to donate right now. Call us, as Steph just mentioned too. Doubling your donation, courtesy of National Bank here for the next minute and 35 seconds. We always love to see the activity that happens in our virtual phone bank.
It's a buzzing. It's a buzzing.
Look see, even the bears are talking to each other. What should we do? What should we do? Okay.
Call
the number.
Call.
Call the number on your screen right there. See the CHEO Bears, and they're telling you to call the number on your screen right now.
You gotta listen to the CHEO Bears.
If you're not going to listen to the CHEO Bears, listen to the kids who are still telling us that they need your help in order to double your donation right now. Have the biggest impact. Make it had right now too, because we rely on you to be able to do all the things you've heard of in the last couple of hours and still more to do. Emily, how much time do we have?
Just 1 minute left in this miracle match. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Donate now.
Oh, like, just heart speechless. Right in the feels. Emily, that is just wonderful stuff. I didn't even know she was going to have the Bears.
I know, right?
That just worked out really well. Emily, thank you for contributing to this. And again, you don't need to listen to us.
No.
You don't have to take it from us.
Listen to the kids correspondents that are coming for our jobs.
Right, they are coming for our jobs. I'm a little bit nervous. Great. Henry's like seriously coming. Like, I'm not going to be on CTV News at 5 anymore
I'm not
anytime
as cute
soon.
as Emily. Well.
That's great. But Emily, it's great stuff too. Thank you if you've donated already. We still have some more miracle matches, but you have time to fit it in right now. Aaron, jump out of the way. How much time do we have? 20 seconds left. So if you get your call in now, 613-730-2436, you can get in line. You can have that donation match up to $5,000. We want to thank National Bank for sponsoring this one. It's wonderful. We're going to have a few more coming up, but it gets warm in here. Get all excited.
We got a few more hours to go.
Gonna go stay hydrated and get some drinks, and we'll be back. Grandma Patricia.
See you soon.
Great job, guys.
Hydrated with water, right?
Yes, hydrated always on the telethon.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys. And those numbers are really starting to add up nicely here towards the end of our second hour.
They are, and we're going to have a look at that number for this hour. We had a really great start, Patricia. Here's where we are now. Wow.
There it is. 2,601,000. Love it.
Amazing start. Does that still qualify as a start 2 hours in? I think it does.
Yeah, we're not at the halfway mark yet, so
big number.
We're still starting. But the good news is we get to take a break.
We do. Time for a quick break. There's still plenty more to come on this 38th annual CHEO Telethon.
First, though, a special message to the staff at CHEO.
Hi, my name is Eric Sears, and I wanted to give a huge shout out and thank you to the CHEO Ophthalmology Department, and especially Dr. Saleh. After my crazy fluke accident, which really messed up my eye, and I was not able to see, you guys in the ophthalmology did so much for me. With all the surgeries, drops, and visits, now I see better than ever. Dr. Saleh, your constant positive attitude and support those 4 months really made me feel hopeful, and you were right. You are just amazing, and I'm so lucky to have you as my doctor. So thank you and the amazing ophthalmology team. You make kids see bright futures.
A special thanks to all the nurses on oncology, and especially you, Dr. Johnson. We can't do it without you. Thank you so much for your support.
This hour of the CHEO Telethon is brought to you by McEwen.
Hey, we're the Biggs and Bar Show from Shea 106.
And we were asked what CHEO means to us, and it means hope for families.
Thanks so much for supporting CHEO for all these years. We really appreciate it.
I'm Amy Volume from Shea 106, and I spent a significant piece of my childhood in hospital receiving treatment for rheumatoid arthritis. So the path that I am able to walk down today is partly in thanks to generous people like you and the wonderful rheumatology staff at CHEO, Infectious Diseases 5 West. You guys are always in my thoughts. You're always on my mind. And if you want to be a hashtag hero for CHEO, please consider giving to the CHEO Telethon.
Hi, everybody. It's Sandra and Chris here.
Thank you all for supporting the CHEO Telethon once again this year. Obviously, we're coming off a really tough one, but we're friends, we're family, we're neighbors, we are a community, and we all understand that CHEO is a huge part of that. So thank you for your support this year.
It's CHEO Telethon time, so you know how this works. You go to CHEOTelethon.com. And remember, every donation is matched by sponsors, so they will double your money, which is an even bigger win for CHEO. So go right now, CHEOTelethon.com, CHEOTelethon.com.
We created, my husband and I, the Cameron Lavier Memorial Endowment Fund in memory of our 4-year-old. We needed his life to have some kind of meaning to it that did something to help other kids. That's what we started doing, fundraising, and that's why we chose CHEO, because it was such an amazing spot for us. And we wanted to make sure we could give back somehow in his name. When Cam was first diagnosed, it was one of the rarest types of cancers out there. We wanted to make sure there was something to go towards research for that kind of tumor, so that maybe down the road other families would have it a little bit easier than we and he did. It's given our other kids a really amazing sense of family with their big brother. There's a beautiful connection between the two living children and him. They said, well, there's the Endowment Fund where we do the hard parts for you, and you guys you set it up, you put money into it, and then it just grows.
This hour of the CHEO Telethon is brought to you by Gabriel's Pizza. Yummy!
This is the CHEO Telethon.